This year only in June, our university has completed its century. So yeah, it's a 100-year-old university now.
Hi guys, and today we have a very special guest, Rashmi Choudhary, a third year MBBS student from Vinnytsya National Medical University, Ukraine. Thanks for joining.
Hi Shivam, thank you for inviting me.
So, as everyone knows, that studying MBBS in abroad raises a lot of questions in the minds of young aspirants. So today we have Rashmi, who is pursuing MBBS in Ukraine, and we will have a conversation regarding the common FAQs. So firstly, why did you choose staying in vnmu out of the many medical universities in Ukraine?
Okay, so when I was searching for universities in Ukraine, a lot of good universities and old universities came up, and this being one of them, so I kept on digging more. I was talking to different agents, different students, and then there I came across someone who himself got graduated from this university only. So he gave me a better picture of it, how's it here and everything. And apart from this, I talked to different students from this uni also. So when I was sure with the thing that the budget, university, and how's the education here, hostel, so that's when I finalized it, and that's how I landed here.
Okay, so firstly, the main concern would be, is the city safe for students? Tell me about the security there.
Yes, it's very safe. There is no issue with the security of students, either native or from other countries. You can go anywhere at any time. And being a girl, I personally feel very safe here. So it's not an issue.
Okay, so that's something really good. And moving on to the next problem which people face, that is the main language. So what is the main language used by the population in your city?
Okay, so most of the local people here speak their own language only, that is Ukrainian language. Some of them can speak English, some of them can't. It's more of like a 60-40 ratio. But it's not a major problem because you get language classes in university for like 3 long years. So once you are able to speak some basic words, it's really easy to interact with the people here.
Okay. And how's the climate there? Is it easy to adjust for an Indian student?
Yeah, initially you feel like, oh, it's really cold, snowing heavily and all, but with time you learn to adjust with it. Like in winters, the temperature here usually goes around like -15 to -20. But it's not a problem because there is centralized heating everywhere, whether in transports, hospitals, malls, houses, everywhere. And talking about summers, the weather is really pleasant, like no pollution, nothing. And I totally love the climate here.
Okay, that's great. And how's the food? Is it easy to adjust for an Indian student?
Yeah, almost everything is available here. Like Indian restaurants are there, mess is there, and I think we Indians are really fond of adding spices to our food. So spices are like pretty much available too. Of course, not all the varieties which we have in India, but yeah, you can buy them from Indian stores here. So almost everything is available. It's not an issue.
And how much is the cost of living when you compare it to the other cities of Ukraine?
Okay, so I think it's not too high, not too low either. It's moderate. And what I believe is some things are cheaper at some places, and some things are cost you more at some other place. So you really can't say that this city is completely cheaper than the other one. So yeah, it's moderate.
Okay. And now moving on to the talks about your university, your medical university. So firstly, how old is your university?
Oh, this year only in June, our university has completed its century. So yeah, it's a 100-year-old university now.
Okay, so you got a rich heritage. So the common question would be that what is the FMG passing ratio of the college?
Okay, so I'm not sure about the percentage because it keeps on changing every year. So you can just Google it and it will show you the previous record. But I think is that it should not be the only reason to pick or reject a college. Cause at the end it's you who is going to study, and according to me the ratio doesn't really matter. But yeah, if you need to check, you can just Google it. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. And like, how many Indian students are there? Like, usually people feel more comfortable with more students and classmates from their country. So, how many Indian students are there?
I think there are thousands of Indian students. No need to worry about that. There are not Indian students and something like that. There are lot of Indian students here.
Okay, okay. And what about the approvals and ratings? Like, is it approved by MCI? Is it who listed? Like, what is the level of accreditation?
Okay, so yeah, definitely it is approved by MCI, approved by WHO, ECFMG, and Education Ministry of Ukraine.
Okay.
It's approved.
Okay, and what is the course curriculum in your college? And like, how is the Ukraine education system, medical education system, different from that in India?
Okay, so the duration is like 6 years here. In first 2 years, basics and preclinical subjects are taught, and then clinical start from third year. So in which we have classes in hospitals, and the system which is followed here is ECTS system, European Credit Transfer and Accumulation System. It's really different from what it is in India. Like there are 12 to 15 students in a group, and a teacher is assigned to those 12 to 15 students only. So this provides like one-on-one interaction with the teacher, and which is really great. And you are provided with the plan, and you have to prepare for that topic before every class. And in next class, the teacher may ask questions, maybe in the oral, written, or MCQ form, depends from teacher to teacher. Then there are modules which are like a small exam for all the previous classes you had, and then once the subject is finished, you have to give the final exam. So yeah, a lot of exams are there, and the attendance, it has to be 100% too. You can't really skip a class.
Okay, so what about the CROC exams? Indian students need to worry about that?
Okay, so the clock exam, I think you don't need to worry about it. What I have heard from the seniors is that it's a very easy exam. So yeah, it happens after your third year, and CROC 1 happens after your third year, and CROC 2 happens like after your sixth year.
Okay. So, like, how are the teachers there? How's the teaching faculty? And like, do they use English as a medium for teaching?
Yes. Teachers are really nice. They are really helpful, and all the international students are taught in English only.
Okay, that's great. Okay, moving on to the hostel facilities. Like, how is the hostel there?
Okay, so hostels are located like within a 5 minutes of walking distance from the university, and there are like 2-seater and 4-seater rooms available. Of course, the price differs a bit according to what you are choosing. So apart from that, they are nice, clean, safe, and yes, CCTVs are there, so it's safe too.
So, how is the accessibility of your college?
Okay, so if you are someone living in a government hostel, then I don't think you need any transport, because as I said, they are like a 5-minute walk away from uni. And apart from that also, the transportation is not so costly, it's cheap and easily available in the city.
And how are the seniors? Like, is there any kind of ragging scene in your campus?
No, I haven't seen any sort of ragging or anything. In fact, the seniors do really help you out with the things when you are totally new here, and with teachers and everything. At least the seniors I know are really generous and helpful.
Okay. And could you tell me about the clinical exposure you get there?
Yes, we do get clinical exposure. Of course, it's not that vast as India, but yeah, it's there, and it usually starts from third year. So hopefully, we will be experiencing it if COVID let us do that.
So, what are the various extracurricular activities available in the college?
Okay, so recently our college opened its football, basketball grounds, and students here do organize cricket tournaments. Then there are dance representations, and apart from that, there is EMSA, which is European Medical Student Association, which offers opportunities to their members and provides a voice for medical students across Europe. So in this, the students represent their interest to other European institutions. So you get a really good exposure and interaction with a lot of international students.
So that's great. Like it was a lovely interview. Just one last question that would be, what advice would you like to give to the students who want to study abroad in your country, like Ukraine?
So, to be very honest, you are definitely going to face some problems like, language barrier, financial issues, loneliness, homesickness, because you are going out from your country, going out from your comfort zone. But don't let these things bother you much. You will ultimately be able to soak in the environment. And yes, one thing which I would love to say is that do your proper research before coming. Dig deep, deep, deep about the university. Talk to different people, different agents. Don't hesitate to clear your doubts and choose whatever suits you. So that's my advice.
So that's it for now, guys. It was a great interview with you, Rashmi, and I hope the audience got an idea about pursuing MBBS in Vinnytsya, Ukraine. So looking forward for more such conversations with you in the future, hopefully in the next year again. So thank you.
Thank you, Shivam, for having me, and I really enjoyed sharing my experience with you. Thank you.